So you've got a lot of names that may be familiar to people from other games, including some of the randomizers that get featured here on Speed Gaming. Got our first level.
Yeah, this first level, Shell Sliding, uses some really interesting tech where if you are sliding down into a bone bucket as you're going, then it actually speeds you along, lets you go a little bit faster. The problem is, as you see some of our runners here, you can't just like slide into it because you're gonna not go quite as fast as you'd like to. So you have to set it up, and this level is set up to where that box indicator, and you'll see Andy over there doing it. He's like, yeah, setting it up. Oh, but he took a death. So we're gonna see how quickly these runners can do it. Now you don't have to do it quite that fast for all of them, but it absolutely helps.
Now, it's one of the traits of the dry bones shell, though. If you hold down, you end up going to that collapsed state, which is handy for kind of being invincible. But if you're good on your new soup tech, like Notch is, he's able to get past this with some wall jumping. Those walls are close enough together, it's a good backup strat and required on this jump.
Yep, there's some cheese periodically that you can get by. One of the things that we really enjoyed about this particular level is that there are some branching paths that happens. If you can pull off a few more interesting tricks with the sliding dash that happens there, as well as using your invincibility frames with the bone bucket, you can really pull off some interesting tricks and bypass parts of the levels. So this is it's not terribly difficult, and one of the things we wanted to showcase early on is some of the new tech that's involved in the Super Mario Maker 2 game.
We've got Notch was the first to hit that checkpoint. Everybody else on stream still looking for it. But definitely a lead for Notch right now. He's on the bridge, and a clear shot to the X. Notch completes the first level.
Well done, Notch. So Notch is going to move on to our second level immediately while our other runners are going through. This was by far the easiest level that we had involved in this particular race. So Notch is going to go the Ice Cave Beckons by Falconic. This one was honestly, not Falconic submitted several levels for the race, and this is my favorite level of his. This is an ice physics level. And, you know, I think Mario is the only game where I actually enjoy ice physics consistently.
One of the things that came into play with Mario Maker is the clear conditions. So it's very important you got to watch for those. And in this case, you got to collect those big coins. So Notch has picked up 2 of the 5 right now. Still has to locate the others.
Oh, sudden screen scroll. Oh, no. Yeah, that one threw me for a loop when it first started there, too.
Got some time to wait out the saws. A little forgiving, but not free.
No, absolutely not. And, you know, he has to be real careful with these vines here and get ready for some more screen scroll action. And the filing icicle.
Meanwhile, Andy and Kaizen have both hit that first checkpoint. So is Fear Agent, so all 3 of them about the same pace right now, looking to get to the end of this level. We didn't see a second checkpoint from Notch's run. Trying to collect the coins. You don't need them, though.
No, and I know a lot of people, when they're running the endless, they'll pick up the coins. You do need... Uh-oh.
Watch that fireball. Good job. Mushroom required there to spin jump down. And going to be some Yoshi tech involved here. I think this one is going to be easier to do small than it was big, so no shame taking the damage boost there for Notch.
Absolutely not. Question in chat from Brentus. Where's the music coming from? We sync up to whatever our current runner is, and right now it is Notch. Does take a death, though, and as I recall, there's no checkpoints in this level, so you got to start all the way back at the beginning. Meanwhile, Kaizenma is right there with him now on the same level. Notch has some extra knowledge associated there, but Kaizen is right there with him.
Andy also on the second level now as well. This is a case where doing the level once, seeing the challenge, and adjusting to it is definitely going to help. But if you have to go all the way back to the start, then it only takes doing the trick right once.
Oh no,
Andy! Andy did not see the clear condition, apparently.
No, that's gonna hurt him a little bit later. Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, so Kaizen, Andy, and Notch are all there on level 2. Fear Agent joining us. Remember, this particular one, the first level that you saw, and this level are 2 of the 3 that will be part of the Part 2 challenge, where they're going to have to post the quickest time they possibly can.
Okay, this time Andy's got it. He picked up that first coin. Yo, it pops up there every time you reset, so you gotta actually read the messages. That's gonna be critical in these races.
That was slick by Andy. I was never able to do that in the level testing, being able to get it to where you can... The P-switch had still had that coin turned into a turn block, and it makes jumping up there much easier. I tried a couple times, but that takes some really quick platforming there at the first part of the level.
All right, Notch picked up coin number 4. One more to go before he's able to touch the goal. So if you get to the end of a level, you haven't finished the clear condition, you'll just get an outline of the goal. You won't actually be able to touch it.
And that is absolutely a too bad, so sad. Oh, and this one, yeah, the screen scroll.
Got the one up at the end, and Notch, first runner to clear that second level on stream. Now, we do have a bunch of people playing off stream, but we won't necessarily know where everybody is from level to level. Kaizen missed the coin, has to start over. We'll find out when somebody's finished.
Andy was not big at that point, so he kind of got stuck there at the turn block. It is kind of a hard requirement there. Have to be big to be able to do that. So this is, we are now on moving day. Oh my goodness. This is a really interesting level.
So we're in 3D World, which has a basically completely different set of physics rules that you have to be wary of. Clear condition says don't take damage, so you're going to need to take this builder suit all the way to the end.
Yep, and a lot of the commands require you getting set up using that high jump physics that you don't have in any other level, using the creation block there. It is not something that everyone does. Really looking forward to see how these agents go through. And,
oh no!
And that's if there was a checkpoint there, I would be really upset. But then there was no checkpoint yet, so it's not quite the soft lock that we think it was there. But yeah, don't go down there.
Well, that's a case where the exploration advantage is definitely going to matter. But Notch making good work with this builder suit. I think the point that's being made in chat is you couldn't have a checkpoint under those Kaizo blocks because you'd have to beat the level from the checkpoint.
Oh, true, true.
Now, one of the better features that Mario Maker implemented, so that is a requirement. You always have to be able to beat the level from a checkpoint, which as a player gives you a certain amount of security. You know that wherever I am, it's possible to get to the end of the level if I got the checkpoint. Oh, and another excellent point in chat, that if you have a clear condition, you can't have a checkpoint. You always have to be able to beat the level as a player would have to beat the level.
Yep. Meanwhile, some of our runners are still on this ice cave beckons. This one can be really difficult, and again, no checkpoints because of that clear condition, so it can be a little bit difficult here.
It's not a long level. It's a good, quick level for this challenge, so you're not doing a 10-minute level only to then need to complete a challenge. It's well-paced, is what I'm trying to say. If you're starting from scratch, it's going to be a quick clear, as long as you do everything right.
So here's what Notch is setting up. He's getting some blocks so that he can throw them to kind of assist him along the way, so he can throw some of these boxes up and through. Then he can continue on through the rest of the level, so that when he finally goes through, he will be able to kind of stack the boxes there, right? Like,
Of course, this is 3D World, so you've got the super jump in play. And Notch just doing it well, taking his time, getting the setups that he needs, and taking care of business. Our other players on stream still working on the ice level. And that's the unfortunate thing. One mistake and you have to do the whole level over, but it is a quick level, so... Ah, that's unfortunate. So, those little dudes will jump whenever you jump, and you have to mind them very carefully when you're trying to get on a platform. That one got the better of Notch on that try. You'll have to do it again.
I was a little confused as to why he would go ahead and end it. You know, one of the things about, if you know you're not going to make the clear condition, go ahead and continue on the level. I know you're speed running and you want to go, but right now, knowledge is probably more important than anything at this point.
Yeah, knowing that there is something challenging ahead of you has value. You can set up for it, you can plan it, and you can basically give yourself a free attempt at getting better at it already. Right. Kaizen's got 4 of the 5 coins, looking to get the last here. I'm sorry, that's Andy with 4 of the 5. Kaizen's got 3 of them working on 4. Got this classic on-off switch setup that doesn't give you a ton of time there. Sure, certainly does give you enough. So what do you think on this room? Do you favor going ahead and getting the coin first, or trying to get it on the way out like runners have been doing?
I like getting the coin first myself. Although in a speedrun sort of level, I can understand wanting to go through. The way the screen scroll mechanic works, though, is that if there's a solid wall, then it will automatically kind of hold you back. But as soon as you're not held back through those blocks, is the bomb's blowing up, then it starts scrolling. So no, I would much rather get the coin first.
I was just about to say, I like the Notch strat there of getting the jumpers out of his way. Then just a little bit off there, didn't get the kill on the last one, and he took damage. Or the jump was a little bit off and he took the damage, so unfortunate. Has to do it again.
I'll say this much: Notch is making this level look relatively easy. This one took me quite a bit of time in the testing process, but Notch, to his credit, knows a lot of the builder mechanics. Not a lot of runners know a ton of the builder mechanics quite yet, so we were a little nervous about featuring this one. Notch, though, proving us all wrong, and I'm perfectly happy about that.
That's one of the fun things about raises. People do things to surprise you. They might even see a level differently than anybody else and figure out a piece of cheese in it. And that's just fun.
Kaizen Ma realizing, oh, yep, still need that mushroom.
Okay, Fear's got 4 of the 5 coins, trying to get through this stage.
I do like that Fear, he already kept his mushroom, so he's in good shape there.
Yeah, the mushroom wasn't necessary for the rest of the level, but you had to have it to break those blocks. Alright, Sphere gonna get this. Having the damage boost in reserve is nice. Gotta get the coin. Oh, got squashed by the screen scroll. Very unfortunate. Kaizen at 3 of the 4. And again, going for the bomb strat first instead of the coin strat first. The thing is, as soon as you blow that wall open, you get the scroll going. So you don't necessarily have a ton of time. Kaizen has cleared the jump and the blocks. Gotta get over to the Yoshi to throw the fire at the bomb to advance.
This is one of those levels that Notch is on right now that I think would frustrate a lot of people as a speedrunner, because this one you want to go fast, and man, this level does not let you go as fast as you kind of want to.
Alright, going for his kill the bad guys when in doubt strat. Alright, he's cleared. This is progress. Sideways thwomp. One of the different things about 3D World is that you can stand on the thwomps. That still freaks me out every time.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, and I think my biggest thing is I don't know enough. I can't visually tell the difference between 3D World and New Soup, so it always feels a little bit weird to me.
So for anyone just joining us thus far, this is Notch on level number 3. Everyone else on stream is on level number 2. Still trying to get all 5 of these coins to finish the clear condition.
Oh no! And he took damage because there was that hidden thwomp that was right there at the end.
Yeah. One of the things you have to watch for, you're trying to read a level maker's mind. Okay, what would they put in the level? Not necessarily what you would put in the level, but are they the type of maker that they're going to put a thwomp here or an invisible block here? Andy back to 4 of the 5. Kaizen back to 4 of the 5. Didn't make the Wiggler jump. So this is interesting because you could sit back. You don't have to be riding the Wigglers like Andy did there, but you don't necessarily have a ton of time with the auto scrolls. So he took his time. He waited on the Wigglers. It paid off. Now is he going to clear it this time? Having the mushroom through here, I think, is a significant advantage. There's this one muncher jump that it can pay off for. You can do it with a lot more comfort. Now just got to get the coin. Swing jumps away. Got the one up, got the clear. Good job, Andy.
That's 2 down. Now let's see how well he knows builder physics. It's so different than your standard level. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles this one.
So, chat, what's your early favorite for a level? We've seen 3 of the 5 that we're going to get. What's the leader in the clubhouse right now for you? As Kaizen with 4 of the 5 coins, looking to get past the Wiggler jump. Didn't make it that time.
Yep, I do believe that we are going to be asking chat what your favorite level is going to be, and that's going to help determine some winners here.
This will be a thing every week, is a maker level contest. So people submit the levels, you'll see them run on stream, and then you, the viewers, get to vote for what your favorites are. So in this case, it's a live race. You've got to worry about what you're doing, but I think this is a case if Notch knew that his progress was so much ahead of the restream, he'd probably feel a lot more comfortable and take his time more. So right now, what we've seen of the restream runners is he's got a lot more time and knowledge on this level than anybody else does. And that is not a negative on this one. Oh, Fear got sniped by the fireball that time. Not even the jump or the auto-scroll, just kind of the RNG of that fireball's position. Absolutely something you gotta watch for, though. It can be one of the trickiest things about Mario is how many different places there are to look at any one time.
Now, in Notch's case, I hope he understands, and I hope all of our runners understand, that if you're struggling with a level, it's entirely likely that someone else is also struggling with that same.
Fear is up to 3 coins again. Kaizen right here near the end. Really taking his time with the saw. And I agree with that strat. The more you've struggled with a level, take a conservative approach if it's there to take. Sometimes you just have to go, other times it gives you the ability to be patient like that. Take it. Oh no! I think the ice got him there. Slipped off the edge for Kaizen.
Fear Agent, meanwhile, does get past that section, but he clipped the muncher right at the very end and realizes, oh, I can't spin past here.
Yeah, he took the damage, lost the mushroom.
Andy really, as chat pointing out, doing well on Moving Day so far. Maybe stuck here.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea in this level, just throw the block down anytime. Here's what you talked about earlier, Andy exploring the level even though he's already lost the clear condition. Now he's not going to be able to progress there because he didn't have the hammer to kill the Thwomp, but he gave it a try. You talked about that early on. If it's a clear condition, explore anyways. Find out any information there is to find out so that you can hopefully clear it the next time.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my suggestion. Not everyone does the same thing. Of course, in race levels, if you're really wanting to push things as fast as you can, you don't want to. You just want to, hey, I'm dead already. Might as well end the level so I can keep on going. But man, in levels like these where your patience is being tested, knowledge is power.
Alright, that time Kaizen got there with the mushroom. 4 out of 5 coins. Just has to clear this challenge and a couple more jumps. He's so close to the end of this level. Be patient here. I might even wait for the bomb to blow up before jumping over. There's enough of a gap there. It is safe, but I'm just saying, I think I would be that much paranoid at this point. Oh, he missed the coin! He missed the coin!
Oh no! Kaizenma!
Missed the last coin that he needed. Cannot touch the goal, has to do it all over again, but he knows he can now. You know you can do it, now you just gotta get back there and actually execute it. Alright, both of our runners, Andy and Notch, on this 3D world level, trying to find their way through. This is good use of the builder blocks. You know, every one of these has time to set the challenge up. That's very good, and it's very runner friendly. That's what I'm trying to say. Your player is going through this; they've got time to set themselves up for the next challenge. That's a very good move.
Yeah, this is anything a good introduction to the builder mechanics. You know, it's Everyone has fun with the cat suit right away, but not everyone really has a whole lot of knowledge about the builder mechanics. So this is, if anyone wants to learn about how to best use the builder mechanics, this is absolutely a great level to teach them.
And I also want to point out how well designed that part was as Notch just did that challenge. You're already in the right position to throw the blocks. That's another subtlety not everyone would do. Sometimes they'd set it where you got to run a platform first and then blindly throw, but you're already in the right position. All right. I don't think those guys are on Notch's Christmas card list at this point.
No, not at this point in time. Those things are just incredibly annoying.
Yeah, the little skip squeaks have been getting in the way. Gets the thwomp kill. I just really feel like this is a reward that's a level that is going to reward the slow and steady approach.
Yeah, you would think, hey, we're speedrunners. Why would we want to encourage the slow and steady approach? And sometimes we just want to throw a curveball at everyone.
Good point that we have the level code in the middle of the screen. Now, to clarify, that's the second level of the 5 today. That's the one you currently see Kaizen and Fear on. The one we have Andy and Notch on is the next level. Has Notch got this? He's got the flat goal.
It. 3 out of 5 down for Notch. Woo!
He's going to be moving on to The Haunt Begins next.
Now, I'm not going to lie. This one was my favorite level that I had tested for the entire week, getting ready for this. It is just an amazing level as far as I'm concerned.
So one of the first things I think you're going to look at when you're starting up a new level is, okay, what theme am I in? So what specific challenges are there? Why would the level maker want it to be in this theme versus another? They picked it for a reason, so you know you're probably going to need some of the mechanics that are specific to that style. Right, got the coin. Or, I'm sorry, key, not coin. Big difference between the two.
A little bit of a difference there. Now, one of the things I liked about this level is that it, similar to the builder level, this one is not necessarily going to be something that rewards you for moving as quickly as you can. Moving quickly is of course great, but it's going to throw something at your face.
Okay, we had Fear Agent, meanwhile, clear the level as Kaizen's backed up to 4 of the 5, trying for the end here. Notch got a little bit of a false ending there.
Yep, it was a fake ending, and now everything gets activated into the haunted house.
Let the craziness commence. Oh, got caught in the blocks! If you're standing in the outline when they switch, you will get caught in those blocks and you're at its mercy to change. And now Andy has cleared the builder level. He's the second on stream to do that and did it actually significantly faster than Notch did. So some time made up here.
Absolutely. All right, Notch gets to the first checkpoint here.
Got a here's Boo Ring down there.
A moving Boo Ring with bomb on a conveyor that it's a bomb delivery kind of system.
Might call it an escort, not quite a traditional one, but moving this bomb away, you also have to mind how you stand for these ghosts at the booze. You don't want to trigger them and have them come in to kill you. And a little bit of timing to get it right. You don't want to blow these bombs up. It's got one up there at the top now.
Yeah, here's the thing. You don't necessarily need to kill that last one. That was a bit of a time waste. He doesn't know that, though.
No, you don't know, so you got to assume everything that's in front of you is required until proven otherwise, kind of. Or else you just really gamble and go on to see if you have to do something before the end of the level, but no clear conditions on this level.
Nope. All right, so Notch actually gets a Shelmet, which you bring over here to lift up, and then you can get across right there. And he has his extra Shelmet used to boost.
Yeah, that was a bit of a gauntlet, and used wisely because it gets him the second checkpoint. The Fire Flower does not get a lot of love in SMW levels, but here's Boom Boom. A flying one, bombs around the screen. There's a lot going on here. And you can't jump on. Well, you can jump on that Boom Boom, actually, but I was going to say it was designed to not be jumped on.
Yeah, the Boo absolutely comes off just a little too easy, but Notch making quick work of that boss.
This is a creative boss fight. Notch did well with it. And here's the goal. So Notch, our first runner on stream to finish 3 of the 4 levels. He'll move on to the 5th. Kaizen trying to get past this coin challenge still. Fear Agent and Andy... Fear Agent's on the Builder level. Andy is also on the Ghost House level. SM1. The classic, the original.
This is another one by Falconic. This is called Falconic's Funhouse, and it is a red coin level, so got to be able to move relatively quickly. But this is our 5th and final level that Notch is on. He's doing incredibly well. Andy is on his 4th level in the Ghost House. It's interesting. We did not necessarily mean to put the collect 10 coins level immediately before another level that has a bunch of 10 coins littered all over the place. You don't need to get those, but sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, if there's ever a high score challenge, these things could matter. Snake block with fireballs. Notch has kept both his Shelmet and the Dry Bones shell. Oh, an underwater section. The moon lights things up, so do the fire bars, so they give you a glimpse of what's ahead, instead of this being totally blind. And good use of the arrows to give you the flow of the level.
Yeah, the bone bucket is really interesting when you're underwater. It feels more like almost a master and commander. You just kind of float around doing exactly whatever you want to do. Bone bucket plus Shelmet means you're sitting pretty in this level.
Not invincible at all, but in really good shape. Oh, the Hammer Bros.
Hey, Andy looks like he's through that boss fight in the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, Andy has cleared that. He's not far behind Notch. Again, I think he might have done these last 2 levels just a little bit quicker than Notch did. Taking the damage. This part's going to be a little tricky. Nice amount of space here to make these jumps. It's forgiving, but still challenging. Into the key door. Is this the end or another challenge? It's the checkpoint.
This is probably the most interesting boss fight that Notch is about to find. It's another bomb escort quest on moving conveyors with Goombrats being thrown at you in the process.
Seems like there'll be an advantage in keeping its conveyors blue as much as possible. That will take them away from you.
Yeah, the problem is you can't do it too fast on this second one because, unfortunately, the bomb will ricochet off and not actually explode.
That can't have the bomb destroyed by the blocks or it's not going to work out for you. And if you take too long, it won't get there.
Yeah, this one can be a little bit challenging. I spent longer than I am comfortable admitting. It gets the key.
It's got it. You win 3 1-ups for the Endless Runner. GG to Notch. On stream, that's the first... Let's see, it was actually Dobbs who finished off stream first. Notch is going to be second overall. So, an outstanding performance for Notch. Andy now in the water section. He didn't keep the dry bones. Interesting.
Yeah, there's different places where the dry bones end up being real easy to abandon or lose along the way. There's a lot of stuff that's thrown your direction. There are progressive power-ups, which is nice. You know, sometimes those are mushrooms, sometimes it's fire flowers. Kaizen's still on this ice level, while Fear Agent is on this the builder level.
Yeah, sometimes a trick just seems to have your number, and it takes a bit to get through it. Now, Andy is about done with the red coin section. He's very close. He's got 2 damage boosts if he needs them, so that's the same that Notch had to clear this section. They're just different. And actually the ones Notch had were a little more valuable because the Shelmet can deflect a thwomp. Got the key. And he's through. Now he'll start the boss fight here. Or boss challenge, I guess would be a more appropriate term. So Vitasia, what is Notch up to now?
So Notch is now on part 2 of our race, where he is going to try to post the very best times for 3 of the 5 races that we just saw. These are no longer blind races. These are just complete them as fast as possible. And we saw these earlier. These are going to be this first Bone Bucket race. It's going to be the ice level that Kaizen is currently on, and then the third one is going to be the Haunted Mansion. So he's just going for best time that you can possibly get on those 3.
Now, this is a case where there could be a serious advantage to restarting as soon as something goes wrong, but you have to make sure you put up a time, although their first round time is sufficient if they don't get another. So maybe you just want a clean run first, and then try and optimize, reset if anything goes wrong. It's a fascinating strategy to approach. It's new soup, so definitely an advantage to getting your wall jumps as Andy finishes the on-stream courses.
Yep, looks like he is 3rd done.
Yeah, outstanding that we got 2 of the top 3 on stream.
In the meantime, we have actually, per request, went ahead and swapped in Dobbs. I do want to appreciate Kaizen for volunteering. He opted to say, hey, if other people are finishing so much faster than me, let's get them in the race. So I really appreciate Kaizen's willingness and Dobbs' willingness to step in as well. And you can see Dobbs, man, he's just going to town.
Dobbs was our first place finisher of Phase 1, so this is him on Phase 2. A question in chat, how to participate. We'll get the Discord links out there for you. Realistically, all you need to do is join the Super Mario Maker 2 Speed Gaming Discord for these races specifically, and you will get the level codes posted in there. We may use SRL in upcoming weeks, but this week they were just posted in there. People tell us when they're finished there, and that is where also we have level makers state their willingness to submit levels that they want to be used in these races. So obviously we have this week's completed. As Dobbs completes that level, does he go for it again? Or does he stand on that time? He's gonna go for it again. So he thinks there's more time to make.
Yeah, runners are given 40 minutes total to optimize the 3 runs. So they're just going to be looking at their best times for each of the 3 levels.
And that is just so fascinating, because how much do you invest in the first level versus, say, most people are probably going to work on that first level for a long time. Let me give myself more time on the other levels. I'll just go with the baseline and then move on, and then come back to it if I've got time left over at the end. It's strategically fascinating what you do here. So let's recap the format for anyone who just may be joining us. Everybody who is participating right now indicated their willingness in advance. They were giving the level codes out of the Discord. So this week's field was already set before we started. As far as the actual process, anyone can join any week. So you can join next week. You just have to be there, registered in the Discord, follow instructions, etc. But also, if you join the Discord, you can get all these level codes if you want to try them out for yourself. And hey, I recommend it because we've seen some good stuff today. Also, watch in the chat because we'll get the poll link out here at some point as to what the fan favorite was. Actually, unofficially, chat, very curious your answers right now. What is your fan favorite so far? What was the favorite you've seen of the 5? Oh, Cyclone X. I'm looking at another screen. Thanks, Cyclone. Haunt Begins. That was the later ones.
We have The Haunt Begins and Moving Day.
I kind of like the Funhouse level. Myself. I'm a sucker for SMB1 levels. Question in chat, if somebody gets a course world record and someone beats it, would they get a notification? Well, they would, in the sense that Mario Maker would say you have new notifications, but I don't think anybody would actually take the time to read it.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone gets a notification saying, hey, they could probably make a reasonable guess.
Alright. I gotta say this. What Fear Agent doing, going to this level... Well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna redact that. That's not what I thought it was. Alright, so we have the notification that runners have until 3:35 to finish Phase 2, so they've got another 35 minutes to get their runs in.
Yeah,
I actually think the play to make would be go to the builder level, which was the slowest of the moving day, and try and get the best time on that. I think that's where the most time saved versus the field is.
I believe it's not any of the three. I think you have to go to
I'm sorry, you're
the
right.
three designated ones. Yeah.
Yep, you're absolutely right. They have to do shell sliding, ice cave, or haunt. In that case, I think haunt would be the play. I think that's where the most of these three. I think that's where the most time to make up is.
Yeah, Haunt absolutely has some optimization that you can go along with it. I think the biggest optimization is going to be at that part 2 level. The boss level can get done through fairly quickly if you're able to knock the boo off of Boom Boom's head, as we saw Notch do. Not everyone's able to do that.
You have to respect any approach anybody makes, but I think the temptation is just taking your time, dividing it by 3, and dedicating that amount of time to each level. But I think if it's going to be one like this, where the times are going to be pretty close together, that's probably where I want to strategically spend the least amount of time on.
Well, there's so many different strategies that you can pick when you do these sorts of things.
Yeah. And hey, it's week 1 of trying this, so you experiment, you may find a different strategy you want to use next time.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing, and I hope not only our runners, but our community understands that. The thing about these levels is, to be perfectly honest, we would like to see more people submitting levels so we can get a lot more levels and a lot more runners associated with it. So this is kind of our pilot run this week, and we're enjoying it all the same, and we hope that you guys are enjoying it too. Just know that, man, this could be so much better, but we need your help. We need you to help us build great levels and then join us in these races.
Yeah, these events are going to be as great as people want to make them. So Fear got blocked a little bit here with his blocks, so I guess he's going to have to spawn enough to get those to despawn. Still everyone on this first level right now. I could see him maybe doing this till 310, but by then I gotta imagine you move on to the next level and just take the time you have. So again, they've already run this level, they're trying to optimize this level now. It's how fast a time can I put up on it.
Dobbs just got the world record for the Shell World, so I think he's moving on to number 2. He's happy with that world record.
That's hard to argue with. Notch only 3 seconds off. That's not a lot of space to try and optimize.
Yeah, this is a very, very fast level. When you do it right, we saw some people absolutely doing some different mechanics. Andy's actually looking at going some other routes on the lower side of things. See how quickly he can get things.
I like it. You don't really know which way is fastest for you until you experiment with a little, and maybe you find something that, even if it's not necessarily faster as far as a level building perspective goes, if it's faster for you, if you have a little bit better mastery of it and can finish it that much faster, then that's going to give you a better time. Notch not happy with where he was because he knows how far he is from the axe, so if he wasn't 2 seconds ahead of where he needed to be already, then it just wasn't going to happen. But this is probably the point where if you fail any challenge, you're just automatically going to start over.
All right, so meanwhile, Dobbs is now at the haunted level. I forget the actual name of it. The haunted level. It was pretty good.
The haunt begins. And you have to relearn the level. You already beat it, but hey, this is different now. You're looking for different things. You're not just looking to complete it, but how am I going to actually get through this faster? Again, this one is a bit different. It has the checkpoints, it has different challenges, not the clear conditions. But we saw some good variety in that. We saw clear conditions, we saw red coin level, saw the more traditional with the checkpoints. A question in chat, how often do these races take place? This is going to be a regular Saturday event here on Speed Gaming going forward for now. I think it'll be off for the week of Speed Gaming Live, but I'm not even positive about that. Which, by the way, if you're excited about this, boy, I'm excited for the idea of the Mario Maker tournament at SG Live.
Yeah, that should be pretty hype. We got some. I mean, the speed gaming community by itself is already just an amazing community. And being able to see everyone live and hang out, that's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of excitement. If you can't get there in person, be sure to be following Speed Gaming at the time, because there'll be a lot of fun going on the broadcasts. And then after that, Fiesel might remember what sleep is.
Impossible.
Well, yeah, it is Fiesel. Right now, Dobbs is the only one to move on to another level of our restreamed runners.
And he's going for optimization of the haunted house level. You mentioned it a little bit earlier. There's some interesting things in this level that you can do. You try to go as quick as you can, knowing that, hey, you got to get keys and you got to run, and there's a lot of back and forth, and there's alternating on-off switches that you don't always have control over.
Use the damage boosts as much as you can. That is a fantastic run for Notch. I'd stand on that time if I were him. Of course, I'm not him, or I might be able to improve it, but... Again, Notch was our Phase 1 second place. Dobb was the winner. He got the world record. I think you absolutely have to stand on that and move on to the next level.
So Notch just beat Dobbs's world record that was just posted.
Well, even that was a couple minutes ago, so Dobbs won't necessarily know that whether or not he has the world record, and I don't think you can plan on that. I think you just have to take these levels to a time that you're satisfied with, because you're all about the average here. It's not the individual, it's the average. And even if Dobbs did know that he lost the world record on that, I don't think you go back to it at this point. You've got about 20 minutes left for improving your times across 3 levels. I think you've got to invest that time in the other 2 levels.
Meanwhile, Notch is going to the ice level as opposed to setting up the haunted level.
Okay, chat, your time to shine. The straw poll is there. Vote for the fan favorite. There's plenty on the line for these level makers because there is a level maker competition each week. So give us your votes. The link is in chat. Let us know which was your favorite this week. I'll have that open in the background to see, but the early winning is Shell Sliding and Shell Shocking. So that was our first one, the SMW level that most of our runners were on, but now Notch and Andy are onto the ice level. It's one of the Falconic submissions. And how about a hand for Falconic, who did a lot of our levels for today because he wanted to get some levels out there for people. So I hope he's had fun. Hope he's had fun seeing his levels in action from these runners. Also, real quick, we have Wimmy has finished the phase 1, and we'll move on to phase 2. All right. Notch got snapped by the fireball there. That's really easy to happen in this scenario, in my opinion, because now you're just focusing on doing the next thing as fast as you can. Your peripheral vision's probably not as good. Also, I think the nature of this level, your time is probably not going to improve significantly run over run.
No, and I think that's one of the interesting things about a sort of segmented level like this one, is that, you know, you can go, you have to optimize kind of each section individually, but the transitions from one to another, you know, like Andy did a really good job there of kind of moving and completing courses while the transition goes. But, you know, that saw blade there is kind of a major roadblock and won't let you continue on. So there's only so fast you can go because the level will not let you keep going any faster.
Dobbs got held up a little bit there by a boo that was not standing, but hovering over top of the Shelmet dispenser. Now, he's actually gotten through this with a mushroom and a Shelmet, if I saw that right. So the extra power-up doesn't really matter because you get the Fire Flower here, but preserving the Shelmet is a big deal. Goes right for that Boom Boom aggressively. Got the boo knocked off.
That was very quick.
I don't think you're going to see a much better boss fight than that. Is that going to be a world record run for Dobbs? It is! So, from his perspective, he's now put up 2 of 3 world records. I think you go right on to the 3rd level and do what you can there.
Yeah, I think you're pretty happy if you think you have 2 of the 3 world records, yeah.
Well, even if you don't have it currently, which he wouldn't know without checking it, just the thought that you put one up, you know that has to be a good time. And he left this one for last, which I think I agree with his strat, because this is probably the one with the least time save to have on it.
Yeah, just the way it's all set up, absolutely. You can see how people would think that. Also, you know, once you have a pretty decent time, you're pretty good to go. But we say in randomizer, it's not necessarily what, you know, the race that you run, but it's the race that everyone else runs. You know, if you think that the time that you put up there, if you've saved, you know, a net 2 or 3 seconds over the other runners, you know, you should be pretty happy about that, all things said.
Oh, the fireball! Got him again. Andy will have to do it over. So this level was one of the Falconic submissions, and it has the clear condition. You have to get all the 10 coins. So because of that, anything goes wrong, you have to do the whole thing over again. Now, I will say, this might be the level where percentages are the biggest difference, even if time's not. You save a second or 2 here, that might be a bigger percentage than it is on the other levels. Or a percentage gap, if I'm saying this in a way that makes sense. Your 1 second here might be more than what anybody else is able to save. Gonna need the mushroom. He doesn't have it. I didn't even see where that Yoshi came from. He kept the Yoshi. He must have gone over top.
Yeah,
everybody else was ditching the Yoshi. True ending, though.
Oh man, the world record is a 119. So someone was able to shave off 14 whole seconds. off this.
That's impressive.
Ooh, okay, maybe there's more time that can be done here.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of first tries on everything, because what we're seeing generally is a lot of second or third tries to clear it. But like Andy with a good setup there until he lost the mushroom. But he had the bomb triggered while he went over and got the coin. That's going to be faster, but it's not going to be the safer, more conservative route.
Also, I happen to agree with Mind of Me in chat. Save Yoshi to save time? Impossible. I absolutely come from the Grand Pooh Bear school of thought of all Yoshis must die. And it's just humane. It's population control.
Yoshi best friend. We have IW coming into the broadcast now. He's working on our SMW Ghost House level. This was, I believe the haunt begins by, I'm sorry if I say this wrong, but Orothane. So a big thank you to our level creators who helped make this a special day. IW gets to the checkpoint there. Is spikes, but not much loss. One sad thing is that we don't get start over from checkpoint. Still hoping we get that in a future update. IDEB seeing that they need the Shellment, now they have to go find it. So Notch, Andy, and Dobbs have all put up pretty good times on the other levels. Now they're looking to improve as best they can on this one. A lot of segments, a lot of waiting in this one. They've got, looks like 17 minutes left to put up the best time that they can.
Man, 17 whole minutes to put up some better times. When Dobbs has already done 2 world records, you got to feel pretty good about that. All things.
Yeah, to me, I think there's no doubt for Dobbs. You got to invest all your remaining time in this level, putting up the best you can, because you have done a lot in the other 2 levels. For everybody else, I think there's that question in the back of your mind. If you don't have a world record, maybe you want to go back to another level once you've gotten to a certain point on this one. Now, we know that Dobbs doesn't have 2 world records, but that's what he saw as a player. Chat's saying he saw his notifications. You're presuming he read the notifications. I'm not. I mean, just the idea that you set one up tells you a lot. Okay, stopped at the screen and looked at it. That is one thing. You look at 4 different runners, you miss a thing or 2 along the way. It happens.
Hey, there's a lot less to keep track of than I'm used to doing on a normal basis. And I don't know about you, Trenton, but I'm pretty sure you have the same experience.
Yeah, we're not having to do a tracker for the key items that they picked up like we would in randomizers. We just have to keep track of level counts. Right, Dobbs, last coin, all the way to the goal. That looked like a really clean last section. Andy about to do the same.
Okay, let's see who has the better time of these 2. 1:15! Holy cow! For Dobbs.
Now, this might be a case where Dobbs goes back to the level he lost the world record on. Yeah, he's checking his alerts now. I fully agree with this play. If you've got the standing world record, go back to another level.
My goodness, that is just so impressive on Dobbs' part. He set the world record on all 3 levels, realized that another runner broke the world record in the meantime, and decided, okay, I'm going to go back and recapture the world record now.
Yeah, and I also think Dobbs has shown a mastery of menuing there. He used the alerts feature to get back to this level faster. Andy had to go type the level code in again. Let's see, Notch finishes the ice level. How's his time stack up?
120.
Yeah, 5 seconds off. So another one of the little strats that can come into these race levels, especially when you have multiples of them, is actually liking, or even if you wanted to, booing a level. Because it will throw off your menuing if you're going to start over. If you are used to doing that with 2 button presses instead of 1, the muscle memory is going to kick in. So if you like a level before you meant to, that you're going to end up in the wrong menu and quit levels is what I'm trying to say. So you have to be very cautious to make sure you're doing things consistently.
Cyclone, our restreamer, is pointing out in chat that you're hearing people take pictures of their times in order for them to be able to record exactly what their time is.
Alright, so some variety in the levels we're seeing right now, although we have 3 of the 4 on the same level, but Dobbs chasing to reclaim his world record on this level. And this is one of the interesting things about Mario, is you can run a great time on a level, and then 10 seconds, or not 10 seconds, but 10 minutes later, you've lost a lot of muscle memory you have to get back. So Dobbs has to get his muscle memory back on this level so that he can run it as efficiently as he did before. And the link reposted, so yes, please do vote on your fan favorite. Let's see what we've got so far. At 5 votes, Shell Sliding and Shell Shocking is our current leader. That's the one you see Dobbs on. Currently the fan favorite. Disagree, make sure you get your vote in. In fact, we've got a tie for second place, so definitely need people to get in there and vote. Alright, what's Andy put up here? A world record for Andy.
210. That's still a pretty good level. Pretty good time there.
He's going back for more. So he thinks there's more time to be saved on this one. But if you're really going to optimize this, a lot of things have to be first try.
It's really interesting because the home bucket level really is probably the best designed level to be speed ran, so to speak. But speed running these other 2 levels that have different segments and sections and things associated with that is a different kind of challenge. So I'm really anxious to see how quickly we can get this.
I'm just trying to get through here with the shell and Shellment, and does. One of the better inventions they came up with for Mario Maker, or power-ups included, I should say. Just adds a lot of fun, and even not necessarily something you use, but as a contraption mechanic is great for that. It's a very good boom boom fight for Notch.
Those boss fights are going to be where it's at, especially with the haunted house, because different, it's so random.
Some of it's out of your control, other parts are. Having that extra power up to give so you can just charge Boom Boom at the start is big. There's only a 222, so there's a lot of time for Notch to make up on that level.
And we are at the 10-minute warning now. We have, well, now 9 minutes from according to my watch. We're getting down to the wire here for how quickly, what times people can put up.
Any competition like this, there's going to be a lot of advantage in being pretty broad in your repertoire for Mario Maker. In Mario Maker 1, there wasn't a lot of love for new soup tech, so if you were good at that, it offered you a significant advantage in competition. So, being used to some of these things, wall jump tech, good super jumps in 3D World, that kind of stuff is definitely going to be to your advantage in these weekly competitions.
Well, and it's interesting because new soup tech, I think, is still the, based on the levels that I'm seeing and people that I watch on Twitch, are still the generally most disliked of the levels. But then you have, the Super Mario Brothers U with the cat suit and things like that, and that has people really excited. I just don't get it all the time.
It's a lot of it's just going to be comfort level. Does something feel good to you, or does it feel clunky to you? That's going to matter a lot. iDub is trying for the fireball kill here on Boom Boom. Boom Boom is not cooperating. He was first introduced in Super Mario Bros. 3, and the fireball kill was definitely the way to go, because it only took 5 shots from the fireball instead of the 3 jumping on the head. As Boom Boom has evolved in other games, he's kept the basics of jump on his head 3 times, but fireballs have gone up so that it's not an instant quick kill like it was.
Much to the chagrin of every speedrunner out there.
Hey, we want to go fast. We don't like anything that slows us down. Checkpoint for Notch. Onto this bomb escort, we gotta get that cannon out of the way. Really good movement through that section. And he's really done a great job today with how he's handled those boos. He's gotten them where he needs them to be so that he's not having to constantly manage them. They're lined up specifically so he doesn't have to manage them, which is going to be much better. Oh, had a muncher in the way. Gotta do it over again.
Meanwhile, someone new on the stream, iBubba7, is on his he's not quite on the final one. No, wait, this is the final one.
Yeah, this is the final of Phase 1. You could try and cheese this and jump on the spikes, but he wants to keep the Shellmet instead. And that's not a bad call when you don't know what's ahead. So I kind of like how this level uses the fire bars. They're not painful fire bars, but they are a present obstacle. And they also give you more illumination than just an underwater dark level that you see a lot of.
Underwater dark levels are easily among my least favorite levels, in large part because things can come at you from many more directions than other kind of dark themes. But this is a creative use of the mechanics there.
Yeah, this is more Fog of War than Blind. And I think we've seen a lot of that creativity come out in this first week's levels. We've seen these makers pull off some really interesting stuff, and I'm really excited to see more of that as we go along. We're at a 5-minute warning now for Phase 2, so they're trying to put up the best time they can on 3 predetermined levels. Actually, we have all 3 of those levels. No, I'm sorry. 2 of those 3 on stream right now. The one we don't have was the icy level, which was our only ice theme today. Kind of nice when you see all the themes represented, or as many of them as we can. Deb got sniped there by the Thwomp. I'm not. Hope he saw the last red coin.
We're down to 4 minutes remaining.
Great. I am gonna refresh the poll here and see where we stand. Make sure you've got your vote in for your favorite level. Right now, Shell Sliding still the leader. But your vote can make a difference. And then very curious to see how close this gets to at the end between these runners, because we've seen world records trade here in pretty quick succession. Dobbs has set world record on all 3 levels, and he's lost them on 2 that we've seen. So Vatasia, we've got Shell Sliding still holding the #1 spot in the viewer poll. Do you think it's going to hold up, or you think anybody's going to make a late comeback?
You know, if it's going to make a late comeback, it's going to have to be a pretty significant one, because Shell Sliding has a significant edge on the haunted house. So if you can take it, you got to get your votes in now.
That is just tenths of a second off of the world record. So Dobbs has a really good time on this level that he's trying to optimize even that little bit more.
Oh my gosh, that is so close.
And again, the better you are at that new soup tech, you might do something that's not intended but still advantageous, like, say, the mid-air jumps, the wall jumps. And this Drybone shell was one of the new power-ups that was added for Super Mario Maker 2, so something that gives it that extra flavor from Mario Maker 1. Also the sideways thwomps in this level. A couple of those things we couldn't do in Mario Maker 1.
I mean, just a couple things. Countdown. We have 50 seconds left. People are trying to get their very best times in. It's now or never.
Yeah, and I mean, this is just so tight. I legitimately do not know who has the advantage right now.
Nope, and we're gonna have folks behind the scenes reviewing all the screenshots of folks.
Yeah, I with the world records we've seen, I really think this is between Andy and Dobbs.
Those two have been just incredible so far. Notch has put up kind of a good fight here, but those two have really done a great job of optimizing things. And that is it. No more!
Alright, so I'm not entirely sure when we'll get the update on Phase 2, but it is kind of interesting to see the difference. Notch apparently was the better all-around in that he got through all the levels first. But then when it came to the Battle of the Optimization, we saw other runners come back. It was more to their strengths.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be down between Dobbs and Andy. Both of them are just high quality runners as well.
Yes, part 3 is going to have a break before we start it, and then they will do 20 minutes of endless mode on normal difficulty. They can skip as many levels as they want. The goal is to complete the most levels within that 20-minute range. So it'll be a 20-minute competition on normal. Finish as many levels as you can. So in my opinion, skip strats are going to be critical. You've got to find levels that you can beat quickly. You don't want to get bogged down in something that may not be that hard, but might be that time consuming. So for my part, first sign of a troll level, I'm out of there. I don't want to spend time on that. Also critical is because it's normal, 1-ups are at a premium. There are not a lot of 1-ups given on normal levels for whatever the reason from what I've seen. It's just not a lot of makers put them in. So you've got to build your life count so that you don't game over. You can start again, but you're not going to have as many levels because it's going to eat up time.
Well, and the interesting thing, normal mode, you know, when we were choosing levels for to be featured here, we were looking specifically for anything between normal and expert. Now, most of these are probably leaning a little bit harder on the expert end of things. So keep in mind that most of the runs should be at least a step easier than we've seen in these runs. So, you know, you should be able to crank out quite a few levels pretty quickly.
I think a big deal is going to be how you start, because the game does not give you very many lives to start with. You've got to build that level count to be able to survive and keep your run going. Now, the rules are you have to complete as many levels as you can within the 20 minutes. There's no rule about game overs, but game over is still going to cost you time.
All right, so it's about a 5-minute break total to allow everyone to spend some time to go ahead and get ready for this endless run. We'll have another countdown, and then we're going to go. We've had a lot of different strategies of people talking back and forth. What do you want to see? How it's going to go?
Yeah, Dobbs and Notch on the shell sliding level, they were 1.2 seconds apart. Ice Cave, it looks like 5 seconds apart, and Haunting 10 seconds apart. So Dobbs with the advantage over Notch. But Andy's was the time we were very curious about, but don't have his listed yet.
Just above Dobbs. So, yeah, Andy, this is interesting.
Okay.
Andy reporting a time of 36.398, so about a 0.12 advantage for Andy. However, Dobbs has the superior Ice Cave run by about 2.4 seconds.
Yeah.
But then Andy also comes back with Haunts with about a 7-second difference. So, but that's the longest of the levels. So I don't know from a percentage perspective how it's going to look.
Well, looks like we got a spreadsheet. Part 1 rank, it was Dobbs, Notch, Andy, Fulizards, and then Wimmy were our top 5 in Part 1. Part 2's not been updated yet, so let's plug the poll. Make sure you vote for what your favorite level of these 5 were. You still got a chance to get it in and make it count. Shell sliding was the Biggest vote getter so far, followed by Haunt Begins. That's hard to argue with.
Those two were very good levels. Shell sliding we enjoyed quite a bit in the playtesting process. There were a few different ways you can navigate the level. There's some different tech you can go around with it. It was just an overall very well made. So everyone for this part is going to run their own 20-minute timer, and we're just going to see how many levels they can possibly complete. This is going to be quite the hype little run.
I tell you, normal is a pretty broad range. This is going to be all over the place. With only those 5 lives to start, though, if you don't get 1-ups early and or often, could really be a challenge, because any game over is just going to cost you time. Now, as far as RNG and what levels you get, that's going to even out. 20 minutes is plenty of time for these to even out. You'll have your chance at plenty of these.
So help me understand, and I know there are different requirements for what is considered normal levels, and it's based on the clear percentage, correct?
A clear percentage, and also the number of upload attempts, it factors in somehow. I'm not an expert on that. But make no mistake, it is a broad range, and especially you'll see newer levels in there that really are expert or super expert levels, but there haven't been enough plays on it yet to categorize it right. So it looks like an artificially high clear rate when if 1,000 players played it, it might only be a 5% clear rate. But right now, because there's 2 clears out of 4 attempts, it looks like a 50% clear rate. So you'll see a pretty good gamut of levels within this range. So the setup going on to do phase 3. We'll of course let you know when we have that. Hope everybody's having a fun afternoon here. If you are, hype emote of choice, chat. Whatever hype emote you got, shows you're having some fun out there.
Oh man, now you're putting me on the spot here.
Hey, you got a choice. Whatever you go to, hype emote is. And if you'd like to participate in next week, make sure you join the Discord for these weeklies. And that will be where all the information is communicated about what we will have the same or different for next week. That's where all of our runners got the level codes for this week, and you can get them off of there if you'd like to run any of these back.
Yeah, and you know, there's, to be perfectly honest, there's a lot of things kind of behind the scenes that we're still getting cleaned up and getting things rolling. This has absolutely been a pilot week for us, figuring out what works, what does not work, and we appreciate any feedback that anyone can give you. Go ahead and feel free to message any of the mods or other folks who are in the Discord who help organize these things. We'd be happy to hear the feedback that you guys have, because ultimately this is about you guys. This is about what you guys want to see, the formats that you like to see, and the different types of races you want to see. So help us put on a better product for you.
In part 3, they're going to play normal, endless, and they have 20 minutes to get as many clears as they can.
All right, so we're getting things part of the way set up. One more time, feel free to give us any sort of feedback as well. But also, if you are a level creator yourself, if you want to see these great runners up here breaking your level in more ways than you know how, go ahead and feel free, submit a level. We'll test it, and if it gets chosen for one of our weekly races, by God, not only is that hype for you, but eventually there are some cash prizes associated with it. And looks like we are counting down and we are about to start our endless mode run. Everyone has 20 minutes to get the highest score they possibly can.
Let's go.
Oh, that's good timing. Here we go with round 3. And this time we'll see all different levels. I don't know.
Not immediately quitting out of that one. That looked like hot garbage there.
I don't know. If all you needed was the fire flower, that one might have been doable. Oh, a lot of spam on this one for Notch. Alright, how do we get to that flag? Can you jump the boom booms?
Oh my goodness. There's
Space theme.
yeah.
Alright, can you get in there? Ooh, gotta be on the Yoshi though, so he's scouting the end. And that is the end, but you gotta be on Yoshi to complete that.
Yeah, remember, it is skip as much as you want, but each skip is just time wasted.
Yeah, now you
My
can see what I said earlier. It's really hard sometimes to get your life count up, because not a lot of these levels offer 1-ups at the end. So Dobbs has completed the level with 5 lives. Everybody else is down to 3 or less. And Notch may end up being game over on this one. And he's got 2 lives in the bank because of the enemy spam, but he has to finish the level to be able to get credit for him. That flag is not far away, but how do you get there? And he is going to opt to skip. Andy has found Bowser Jr. at the end of the level. He clears that SMW level. Only 3 lives, though. And iDub, that's big. He not only cleared a level, but got the 3 1-ups.
We have Notch just starting over.
Yeah, honestly, if your first level is that bad, you probably are better off to do the new game, because then you've got the 3, you've got 5 lives instead of 1 or 2. And hopefully he's not too far back that it despawned that shell. Okay, he's fine.
Oh, there's an auto level for Notch.
And like I said, it's a very big range in normal, so you might get these auto levels where people were trying for world record and they end up lowering the clear rate because they start over. Andy running right as much as he can. Not a bad strat in Mario levels, but he runs into a poison mushroom.
Oh, those poison mushrooms. Very interesting strategy there as well. I love the poison mushrooms. You know, they came back from the original, lost levels over from Super Mario Brothers 1.1, I suppose, in Japan.
Got it that time, got it with the 1-up, so that's big for Andy. He's back to 4 lives now, but I can't see Dub's or Bubba's life count, but he probably has the most right now, and there is an advantage to that. That means if you see a level that is good but maybe costs you a life, you can afford to invest in trying to clear it.
Oh my goodness. iBubba is on. This is a great. I think I've played this one before, actually. It's a great crane level that just has you do some interesting crane mechanics here. It's a crane game, just like you'd see at a old family restaurant or so.
Yeah, those things were definitely coin hogs. Couple of Bowser Jr.'s here for Dobbs. Bowser Jr. is usually pretty forgiving as a boss fight goes if you get your momentum started right. Dobbs is getting him in that corner so you can get the double jump on him. Just absolutely textbook perfect fight there. Andy gets another clear. He's at 5 lives. See, it's just really hard to build significant counts. Bubba's gotten the most 1-ups that we've seen. I'm sorry for getting my names wrong there, but he's only at 6 lives right now.
Oh, the big Bowser is just causing havoc right now over on Notch's side. Can't run through him like the other.
Yeah, the timing is a big deal because he keeps jumping when Notch thinks he's got it. So he could bounce off the Boom Boom. He can't bounce off the other Bowsers. And now his Shellman is trapped under there, so he's down 1 power-up. So he's resorting to just Fireball spam and see if he can get past him. Now he's kind of blocked from the Fire Flower, though. Andy with another clear and another 1-up. Those are big. You gotta keep getting the 1-ups. I feel like once you're at 10, you're in pretty good shape. You could invest a couple lives into a level. Before that, it gets really hard to invest time in a level.
Dobbs looks like he lucked out with just kind of a simple little nice platforming level. Very traditional Mario. Yep.
Always got to watch these clear conditions. So this one says beat 3 Bowsers, but it's giving a ton of power-ups. Where's Bowser 1? Bowser 2, Bowser 3, he's got it. Oh, but it's Picador! It's a Picador level. So killing this isn't the hard part. But you've only got 1 key, 4 doors, only one of them's going to lead to the end. Is this the one? No. There's no way to scout it, really. You just would have to redo the level, but you can skip and not cost you anything. No! I disagree, Andy. If he had skipped, he would not lose a life there, but because he starts over, he does cost him a life. Okay, he's going to scout the doors first. I do agree with that strat.
Let me be the first person to say, if anyone submits a level that is a Picador level, I will do everything in my power to deny you ever being featured on stream, because that's the word.
Yeah, as far as our races go, what we saw in Phase 1, direction should be clear. People should know exactly where to go in your levels. Alright, so Andy has died enough times that now he knows what the right way is. Has to collect the red coins again, though. Is it always door 3?
It's just about always door 3.
Feels like it.
Oh,
Dobbs on a pretty good run here.
if it's okay, Cyclone makes a good point. If Picador is choice of paths to take and not necessarily insta death, then that's fine because at least you can eventually win. But yeah, if your Picador leads to instant death,
I think when most people say Picador, they're saying that for shorthand. It means there's only one way that doesn't kill you. Some may disagree, but I think that's generally what's understood.
that's how I understand it anyway.
Dub dealing with this new soup level opted not to do the P-switch, which turned out to be the right play. And a Bowser guarding a pipe? Is there a key here? No key, so it was not a required Bowser. Little vertical section here.
Shout out to Cyclone and Feasel doing last second tracking. You'll notice on the side of their names the number of stages they've cleared so far that we're keeping track of.
Rising lava, that's always scary, but Dub got through there after clearing the last Bowser. I think there was actually a clear condition to defeat Bowser's. So Dubs has cleared another one. Andy, with 7 clears now, our leader. But Dobbs right there. Both of them have just put on a great performance. Feels bad to leave one-ups behind. See, he's doing a great run. He's got, obviously, the 7 clears, but he only has 3 lives. Now, you get one more here, but... Okay, all the enemies, he got the 3, so that worked out well, but you can't ever be sure that that's going to be the case.
Notch has got to be careful. He's only sitting at 2 lives so far.
This is a big part of the challenge, and even if you can start over, well, it's just going to cost you time, and that's time you're not investing in levels. Got an SMB1 platformer here for Dobbs. This looks like my kind of jam level.
Yeah, this looks super fun. Although, man, naked pipes, people. Naked pipes.
The blind jump does not work out. Bubba got past. I'll get that right by the end of this broadcast. Bubba got past that bumper level. Question chat, what do timers imply? They're actually tracking how long they've been running this phase because they have 20 minutes to complete as many of these levels as they can.
And right now, I mean, everyone's on the same timer. People didn't start at very different times, so we can presume Andy's timer works for all of them.
We started approximately 3:46, so we should have roughly another 6 minutes. Roughly. And good job by Dobbs to get the 1-up on that jump. A little bit of patience definitely has dividends. Are we trying to... Yeah, trying to kill that shell, so you get him within the bumpers. And... this is an interesting concept. You've got to get that shell within the one-way so he'll get crushed by the cannons, and that gives you the key. But with the springs, this is an escalating challenge. You've got to get your timing right.
That is an interesting level. It's like playing Pong in Mario.
Meanwhile, Dobbs has gotten a title screen level. People like to re-upload these levels with very minor twists on them. So, if you're playing a bunch of levels, you've seen that one probably at least a dozen times. there's days you might see that level 3 or 4 times.
So it looks like Dobbs and Andy are both at 9 levels now, although Andy is on his 10th if he can complete it. Bubba's at 9. He's right there with him. Notch is at 5.
So interesting, you could see that Dobbs has a PB of 199. He's clearly done normal endless before. And I think there's an advantage to that. You know what the look of a good level starts like. You know what the look of a bad level starts like. So I think it can help him a lot with level selection. And also, unlike before, this is the first round where coins matter, because 100 coins is a 1-up. So now there is value in going after those 30 and 50 coins. Looks like a speedrun level here for Notch, so he may have already lost it if he doesn't have enough time. But it is in normal, so those timers are going to be a little more forgiving. Andy, meanwhile, looks like he just got a Cape to Win level.
Oh, Cape to Wins.
Yeah. And I think we're past the... Well, I'm pretty sure we're past the point now where lives are going to matter. So 8, 11, anything over 5 is going to be probably enough to do any levels you're going to come across the rest of the way.
Notch died after, I think he's at 6 right now, so he's going to have to, in 4 minutes, make up 6 if he's going to keep on going.
Yeah. Now, mind you, Notch was the Phase 1 winner, just the first to complete the whole challenge. So we've got a math level for Bubba. Oh.
Oh, hey, look. It's a dev exit.
Well, that's not fun. 10 minus 3.
7 or... Okay, that's clever. That's clever. We have a math level.
Yeah, I'm not sure Bubba realized it the first time. 18 minus 6, so that'll be 12. See if it's an honest level. Also, how complicated is this math going to be? Because I always say don't do math while live on Twitch. It always betrays you.
Oh, come on. Let's get some calculus in here.
I think not.
Okay. It's done. Okay.
All right. It's good, simple level. We should have right about 3 minutes left. Or in that vicinity. So that's time to get several levels in. If they're easy enough and if you one-shot them. Like, that's a good one for Andy. You can clear a bunch of those even within 3 minutes. Getting the Bowser kill with the Thwomp. Nice. Oh, sideways Thwomp. That's one of the tricky things with these sideways Thwomps. You can't always tell which one they are.
You can almost never tell, and that's really the difficult part about it.
Fell off the cliff. Alright, so you see the counts next to the runners telling you what they're at, Dobbs. A 1-level lead right now. They're posting their counts in Discord, so Andy knows he's trailing. That can pose some interesting challenges to you. So, this is a bit of a troll for Dobbs. The star kills the Goombrats, but you need to jump off them.
It's a bit of a troll there. You have to be able to go through. And there's another one. Oh, man. Just a minute and a half left. And Dobbs and Andy are just synced up there.
I mean, they have given us a terrific battle today. We couldn't ask for much more on the first week of this. Clear condition, reach the goal while holding a trampoline. So if I see something that's going to make that really hard, I might get out of the level, but you don't really have a lot of time to look for new levels at this point. Oh, there's the end, though. This is probably going to be last level for everybody. Now, that's approximate. That is not official. Just to make sure I'm advertising correctly.
14 for Dobbs.
That is just terrific. He built up this streak quickly. We saw from his PB count that he has definitely done this before, and I think that experience really showed. I think there's an advantage to doing any endless challenge, but if you're used to the difficulty, like, see, here's that title screen level. I said you'd see it 12 times if you've done this at all. We've seen that level twice today.
And time is now up. Oh, that was... Andy got trolled hard. It's like you saw the edge of the final level, and it just didn't happen. It just wasn't there.
No, it was the pipe. It was walled off, but he didn't realize that was the end of the screen, and he had to go down the pipe.
All right, so we're getting all the final counts. I think Dobbs is the winner in the entire race.
And, oh, by the way, please follow these runners if you've enjoyed the show today, because they all put out a terrific effort for us. So show them some love, please.
Absolutely. Dobbs, Andy, Bubba7, and Natch212. This has just been a ton of fun. It takes a lot of guts, not just to be on a restream, but be on a restream for our first attempt at doing something like this. There was maybe a little bit of confusion behind the scenes, but everyone really pushed on through, and it's been a whole lot of fun.
Now, Speed Gaming, we like to do interviews with the racers, so I'm hoping we'll be able to get one or two of them to join us. Don't have the final standings for this. It looks like 15 for Dobbs, 13 for Andy as far as the Endless Challenge goes. And I'm not sure how we did on Phase 2 just yet. As far as the People's Choice, what were your favorite level was, it looks like we have Shell Sliding and Shell Shocking took down the win there. The Haunt Begins was our runner-up, second place. Then Ice Cave Beckons finished in third. So there are weekly prizes for not only the top two runners, but the top two level makers. If you want to get in on that, be sure to join the Discord and let us know you're interested in submitting a level. Then I'll talk you through the status of doing that. If you want to be a runner, you just need to have your restream stuff set up in advance. Join us in the Discord and we'll communicate the instructions there.
And hey, if you're still working on getting your Switch and Mario Maker 2 together, feel free to join us every week. Make sure to follow all the Speed Gaming network of channels, Speed Gaming 1 through Speed Gaming 6. We not only do this Mario Maker 2 weekly contest, we also have daily races for many, many, many other games. Link to the Past randomizer and no major glitches runs, all sorts of different randomizers and other games. Feel free to check out our schedule at speedgaming.org/schedule. We'll get that linked here in chat shortly.
Right, just working through the invites to see if we're going to be able to get players in for a post-race interview. So we have those sent out, and we'll see what we're able to get. Runners have been sent the invites, and then we'll find out who's able to join us. It looks like we'll have a couple come in for some brief interviews, and then hopefully we'll have some final standings here in a bit. Part 2 rank, number 1 did go to Andy. Andy was 3rd in Part 1, 1st in Part 2, and 2nd in Part 3. And some of that's still being updated in real time. So we'll check back in on that in just a bit.
Meanwhile, it looks like Dobbs was number 1 in rank in number 1, number 2. No, wait. Yeah, ranked 2nd for the optimization runs, but in the endless runs, he also took 1st place as well.
Oh. All right, we're going to get people in here. Minor technical difficulties.
Hello, hello.
And there is Andy.
Oh, hi.
GG.
Hi. That was a wild ride, I must say.
Well, first of all, let me just ask, what's your favorite level today?
Oh man, there are a lot of good ones. I think the shell sliding one was fun to optimize. I really liked that. I enjoyed the ice cave, but it was really, really punishing for how long it is. Like the difficulty, I love the difficulty, but like in a blind race setting, it's kind of like nerve-wracking for it to be like a minute and a half long level, and then you just touch one thing, and then it's like, well, guess I'll die.
Great. Notch, let's go to you next. What was your favorite level on the day?
Hey, Trenton. Today, damn. Good question. I would like to agree with Andy. The shell one probably was the best one, even though it took me like 5 minutes to figure out how the shell did work, and then I realized that doesn't work at all, so I did my own thing.
Yeah, well, for optimizing, that's exactly what I did too. It's like I tried to do what the level wanted me to do for the optimization stage. It's like, this isn't working. Just go.
Yeah.
Dobbs, I'm going to change up the question a little bit for you. I noticed from your count, you've done a bit of the normal endless before. So do you think that paid off for you as any advantage today?
I think that really came in handy. I want to say it was probably Versus that got me good at sight reading levels like that. Because you see a lot of the normal difficulty levels in Versus. It's perfect for just kind of running through as fast as possible and hoping that things work out.
Let me go back over to Andy. Of the 3 phases we did today, what would you say was your favorite?
Well, I would like to say I like to be a grind monkey when it comes to ILs. So, probably phase 2, but I also really enjoyed phase 1. Phase 3, I mean, I think that kind of becomes a toss-up too much. Like, when it comes to normal difficulty, sometimes you get the really easy short levels, sometimes you get the really easy long levels, and then you're like, well, which ones do I skip? I would have probably preferred it if it was on expert, in my opinion.
Notch, how about you? Of the 3 phases, which did you find the most enjoyable?
The first 2 definitely. I've never ever touched normal before in my life. I've only done expert like once, so I have no idea how endless works. So I was like losing a lot of time in the beginning. Like, I think it took me 5 or 6 minutes to get my first clear in Endless, and that was terrible. That felt so bad.
And I'll wrap this with you, Dobbs. Of the three, which did you enjoy the most?
Oh, grinding out records is a blast on any level. Just being able to kind of try and figure out those weird little tricks. I think I might have stumbled into some weird tech on the shell sliding one. You could do it without a ground pound. You could get that speed boost somehow, but couldn't quite get that into my good run on that.
All right, and it is my pleasure at this point to announce the final results of our contest for the poll for who had the best levels. Congratulations to Bob McName, who created the shell sliding and shell shocking level. He does win $30 from Speed Gaming, and Orathan, who wins $20 for The Haunt Begins. If you guys want to win cash money, get your level designs in there. Let's see how good these levels we can get in there. There's some real money on the line here, guys. So get your choices in.
And these runners enjoy good levels, so
Mhm.
even more to enjoy next week. Let's go ahead and ask for any final thoughts that you have, starting with Andy.
Really fun format. I would have liked to know the time length of the format, like how long things are going to take sooner. But I mean, now we have an idea. It's probably not going to be a problem because I have a race in 13 minutes. So it's like cutting a little bit close.
Just
But
a warm up,
All right, well, you can go ahead, stretch, get your setup good, and we wish you good luck with that.
oh, thanks.
Dobbs, any final thoughts from you?
Oh, I just had a lot of fun. This is my first actual speedrunning race, and I was really excited to be a part of it, and hope to be a part of a few more in the future.
Certainly look forward to it. Notch, any final thoughts for you?
Nothing that hasn't been said. So really, it was fun. Obviously, I feel like things will be a little bit better for future races. So yeah, looking forward to all of them.
Well, Fantasia, we have tried to set a standard this week that everybody else has to live up to going forward on these races. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too.
Oh, this has been a ton of fun. I really look forward, once we get everything cleaned up a little bit, it's going to run so much smoother. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what other races and levels the community can throw our direction. So I wanted to give a quick shout out once again to Dobbs, Andy, Bubba7, Notch212, and also everyone else who is featured on Restream periodically. Thank you guys so much for volunteering, putting yourselves out there. Thank you to everyone who submitted levels for the level design contest. Thank you so much to Feasel and for Cyclone doing so much work behind the scenes and getting everything set up. And again, thank you again, Trenton. It's been a blast. I'm really looking forward to how things go next week.
Same.
Okay, and real quick, one last piece of business we didn't talk about yet. Our overall winners for runners today. Congratulations to Dobbs for taking down the gold, and Andy is our silver place, so they win money for this as well.
Hell yeah. I mean, heck yeah. Sorry.
So that's on the line each week as well. More incentive for people to come out and enjoy these races, other than, hey, you're going to get to run some fun races, even if nothing else. So thank you, everybody, to help put this on. There is a crowd control event this evening on Speed Gaming. So if you're looking for a good time, that is a thing. It definitely happens. And there's
Crowd
plenty of
control races
insanity
are
with crowd control. That's
all
at 6
sorts
o'clock.
Looking forward to that race. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and take off. Thank you, everyone, for joining with us. We'll see you at the next race. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.